We have to go ahead and lock him down. We have to keep him separated from the general population.
That's the way to do it, and you throw him over the sidelines like a piece of trash, which is sick and tired of this. It's another PR own goal.
40s now, still fighting with these random people in random places.
Yeah.
For 5 million here, 10 million there.
No, he's just a big spender. You can't spend like that.
Piers Morgan did not react quietly when fresh rumors began swirling around Floyd Mayweather's finances. The moment talk of serious money trouble, a disputed $42 million property story, and possible legal pressure started spreading. The conversation exploded across television, podcasts, and social media. For years, Floyd had presented himself as the untouchable symbol of wealth in boxing, a man who didn't just win fights, but turned winning into a financial empire. So when stories began surfacing that challenged that image, the reaction was immediate and intense. People weren't just surprised, they were stunned. How does a fighter who earned historic paydays, built a luxury brand around his own name, and spent years showing the world stacks of cash suddenly become the center of financial questions? That is the mystery that pushed this story into overdrive.
Boxing legend Floyd Mayweather is making major moves in New York City real estate. According to The Real Deal, the undefeated champ is under contract to buy a $402 million portfolio of affordable housing. That's over 60 buildings with 1,000 units, mostly in Upper Manhattan, making this one of the biggest multifamily deals this year. The seller? Josh Godlib of Black Spruce Management, a major player in New York City's rental market. In a statement, Mayweather called this purchase deeply personal, recalling his own humble beginnings where he lived 7 deep in a 1-bedroom apartment. Known for dominating in the ring, Mayweather is no stranger to real estate. He's already invested in 9 New York City skyscrapers. With this move, he is adding to his growing real estate empire, proving that his winning streak extends far beyond the box.
To understand why this hit so hard, you have to understand what Floyd Mayweather represented for more than a decade. He was never just an undefeated boxer. He became the face of visible success. Private jets, rare watches, custom cars, giant mansions, and the kind of lifestyle that made Money Mayweather feel like more than a nickname. It felt like a full identity. He retired with a flawless 50-0 record and some of the biggest fight earnings in boxing history. His bouts with Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor alone turned him into something much bigger than a champion. He became a business spectacle, a crossover star, and a symbol of financial domination in sports. That's why every rumor around his money lands so much harder than it would for almost anyone else.
Crazy. I bought myself out my contract from Top Rank for $750,000. When I left them, the McGregor, the Pacquiao, and the Canelo fight, I made $750 million just with those 3 fights.
Floyd Mayweather is the most successful boxer in history with a 50-0 record, and one of the wealthiest athletes of all time with $1 billion in earnings. But I bet you didn't know it all started with a $750,000 bet on himself. Here's the wild story. In 2006, Floyd Mayweather was 10 years into his boxing career and earning over $5 million per fight. At the time, Mayweather was signed to Bob Arum's Top Rank boxing promotion, a partnership which saw Arum get 25% of Mayweather's fight purse. But Mayweather wanted more, and in 2006, he turned down $8 million to fight Antonio Margarita and said he deserved $20 million to fight Oscar De La Hoya. Arum wasn't happy and wouldn't pay up. So Mayweather paid the $750,000 exit fee in his contract to leave Top Rank. Mayweather then went on to promote his own fights, earning a percentage of every ticket, hot dog, and beer sold at the event, and most importantly, all pay-per-views sold. And just 1 year later in 2007, after leaving Top Rank, Mayweather made $25 million for his win against Oscar De La Hoya. Now that's what happens when you bet on yourself.
Floyd never hid the lifestyle either. He made sure the public saw it all. Social media turned into his showroom. Fans watched him pose with cash, flash million-dollar watches, walk through closets full of designer clothes, and travel like normal luxury was beneath him. He didn't just enjoy wealth in private, he performed wealth in public. That performance helped grow his brand, but it also created a trap, because once you build your image around endless money, people start watching even more closely for any sign that the machine is slowing down. The same flexes that once made him look unstoppable now make critics ask harder questions. Was all of it backed by lasting stability, or was it an image that became too expensive to keep alive?
what did people do for you? What gift could they give Floyd Mayweather?
Oh, they bought watches like this.
What in the world is that? Yo, I've never seen anything like that in my lifetime. Oh my
Gifts. That's what we do.
Just gifts. Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. Can I see that thing again? Oh my God, that's the most beautiful thing. I don't even want to go near it. Oh my God.
This is where old critics like 50 Cent re-enter the conversation. Years ago, 50 already hinted that Floyd's spending habits could become a problem, arguing that the image of endless wealth might not last forever if the money going out stayed bigger than the money coming in. At the time, many people brushed those comments aside as typical celebrity trolling, but when new rumors began surfacing about financial pressure, those old warnings suddenly sounded a lot less funny. That is part of why this current wave of speculation has gained so much momentum. It's not just one rumor appearing out of nowhere. It's a series of old questions coming back louder, now tied to newer reports and bigger public curiosity.
Does Floyd Mayweather, is he as rich as we think he is?
No.
So when we see the $1 million in the bag,
that money light money. Like, he can get his hands on that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't,
I need some of that light money then.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Anytime like that, look, he is who he is. You can't discredit who he is. Like, and again, I'll tell you, like, I don't mind, you know, telling the truth in situations like this.
Behind all the luxury, critics say the warning signs may have been building for a while. Financial experts often point out that even elite earners can run into trouble if their lifestyle never slows down, their investments go sideways, or their income becomes less predictable after retirement. Boxing is especially brutal in that way. A fighter can make life-changing money at the top, but once the major paydays slow down, the obligations remain. Staff, travel, properties, upkeep, taxes, business commitments, none of that disappears. Just because the fighter is no longer in his prime. That is why Floyd's story fascinates so many people. It forces the uncomfortable question, can someone earn at the highest level imaginable and still feel pressure if the structure behind the image isn't strong enough?
For this, or was this just...
I guess it's something that they just made up.
Something they made up. Do you think they're going to paint over that when it goes as everyone seems to think it's going to go?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. You should buy that gym from him and knock it down with a wrecking ball.
We can do that.
That would be something you could...
We can do that.
You could potentially make... How much money could you reasonably walk out of this fight with?
350 million.
$350 million.
Yes.
Wow. I know you love money, right? I mean,
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
How did you get the nickname Money? Did you name yourself Money, or was somebody else?
They just started calling me.
They just started calling it. You always have a lot of money with you.
A little bit.
Yeah. I have a picture of, this is from Instagram. You're on what looks like a private plane, just with a whole...
No, my private plane.
Your private plane, sorry. With a whole lot of money, and it looks like a couple of bowls of ketchup, maybe, also.
No.
Are you eating this money?
Those are cup holders.
Oh, those are cup holders, okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have a private plane.
You didn't flew on me.
What do you do with all this money? I mean, like, do you actually use it? I mean, are you using the cash?
And, you know, cash is king.
Do you have an ATM card?
I'm the human ATM.
One of the biggest talking points in this latest wave of attention has been the reported New York real estate move tied to more than 60 affordable housing buildings in Upper Manhattan. On the surface, it sounded like the perfect next chapter for Floyd, an athlete evolving into a serious property investor, stepping into one of the toughest and most prestigious markets in the world. But as scrutiny around that deal grew, so did questions. Critics began wondering whether the business side of the move was as solid as it looked publicly. And when real estate stories start mixing with talk of advisors, background checks, and legal complications, the narrative turns darker very quickly. What was first presented as a giant power move suddenly became part of a much wider debate over how Floyd's post-boxing empire is actually being managed.
In this article, it states that he's spending $402 million in real estate investment in a 1,000-unit affordable housing portfolio in Upper Manhattan. The portfolio includes over 60 buildings and is one of the city's largest real estate deals of the year.
Wow. Well, thank you, Floyd Mayweather, for investing into New York real estate.
What makes the whole situation more surreal is that even while people were questioning his finances, Floyd was still doing what Floyd has always done, showing off the lifestyle. One of his recent posts, including footage of an eye-popping sneaker collection, reminded everyone that his world still looks like pure excess. Rare Jordans, exclusive Nikes, custom luxury footwear, entire rows of elite sneakers arranged like a museum of wealth. It was exactly the kind of content that always grabs attention around his name. Fans were impressed, critics rolled their eyes, and the debate only got louder, because for supporters, it was proof he is still living on another level. For doubters, it was just another example of a man continuing to project abundance while bigger financial questions refused to go away.
I love sneakers. I don't know about nobody else, but Money May loves his sneakers. As you can see, I got them stacked all the way up to the top. And I gotta let people know it's sneakers in every box. I ain't stacking just a bunch of boxes, a bunch of sneakers. You know how we do. We need one time only. What's the game? Jenga? I don't know the name of it. Let's stack it, let's go. You know, it's dangerous up here. It don't look high, but it's high. Let's stack. We did it. Money May, and y'all know the rest.
Piers Morgan has also been part of the wider criticism around Mayweather's exhibition era, and that criticism reflects what many old-school boxing fans have been saying for years. They believe these post-retirement events may have made Floyd more money, but they have also changed how parts of the public view his legacy. Instead of walking away with his greatness untouched, he has repeatedly stepped back into the spotlight for celebrity-driven, crossover-style events that feel more like entertainment products than true tests of boxing skill. That shift matters because legends are judged not only by how they rise, but by how they choose to spend the final chapters of their image. And more people believe Floyd has prioritized the check over the long-term dignity of his resume.
Pioneer of all of
you are the pioneer.
This all started with the Mayweather-McGregor. Yeah. I started this. So, and then remember, I done over in Tokyo, then everybody. Now you see all the professional fighters. So I'm happy that I was able just to do something different and put eyes on me where everybody can do it.
Oh, well, you know, I take my hat off to Chavez Sr. He's a legend in the sport of boxing. He's one of the guys that opened up the door for myself. But of course, I'm still in tip-top condition, and he's a lot older now. You know, even when we was younger, that would have been a great matchup. But you just you never know. I heard that he posted us and talked about us doing a fight, but I'll be in a no-win if I did that.
Those exhibition fights are a huge part of why the conversation around him feels so split. On one side, Floyd openly says these events are about fun, entertainment, and making money without taking unnecessary punishment. From a business perspective, it's easy to see the logic. Why not step into short, controlled events, collect giant purses, and keep the brand alive? But on the other side, critics argue that every spectacle against a non-boxer, influencer, or crossover name chips away at the aura he once built through elite competition. They see it as the difference between protecting a legacy and monetizing a name. And in Floyd's case, that difference has become a major talking point.
Floyd is somebody since I'm 8 years old. This was my idol. It is a tremendous honor, but make no mistake, June 11th, I'm bringing bad intentions to that man, and I don't care if an exhibition or not. You signed to fight me, it's no quarter, so it's kill or be killed.
Another big event, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a crazy crowd, I'm pretty sure, but I've been here so many times, you know, I've been fighting since 1987 to now, so I know what it takes when, you know, at any level, so I'm just happy to be here.
I watched every one of his fights. I've never seen anybody throw combinations with the intent and the speed and the accuracy of that man, and I was captivated from that night on. So I've been Team Mayweather since I'm 9 years old, but like I said, when it's time to get to business, we're gonna get to business. We're gonna fight.
I will continue to have fun, entertain, until I'm ready to say, you know what, enough is enough.
Even people who acknowledge his boxing brilliance have questioned whether some of these exhibitions are worth it. Yes, they bring attention. Yes, they bring serious money. And yes, Floyd still shows flashes of elite skill even in retirement. But sports voices like Stephen A. Smith and others have argued that not every event is worthy of a legend's presence. In their view, these matches blur the line between sport and spectacle in a way that doesn't honor what made Floyd great in the first place. When one of the most gifted defensive minds in boxing history shares the ring with novelty opponents, it may entertain the public, but it also invites the question of whether his own brand is now being stretched in too many directions at once.
Money Mayweather retired from boxing 50-0. That individual that he was fighting right there is the grandson of the late infamous mobster John Gotti. I am not aware of John Gotti III having any real kind of boxing background. I did not see the fight, although I heard he lost every round and Floyd Money Mayweather was whipping him pretty good. I was not there. I did not see it. I do not know. Here's what I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space.
That concern has been echoed by others in the boxing world who feel legends should be more selective. The argument is simple. Someone with Floyd's resume should not need gimmick-driven events to stay relevant. He already conquered the sport. He already secured the biggest wins, the biggest stages, and the biggest paydays. So if he is still stepping into unusual events with social media stars and celebrity opponents, people naturally start wondering why. Is it pure fun? Is it ego? Is it business genius? Or is it evidence that keeping the money machine running requires more fuel than most people understand? That uncertainty is exactly what keeps the discussion alive.
Out on the street, anything like that. Boxing is your thing. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't see just anybody on the basketball court playing against LeBron James. He won't do it. He doesn't have to. It's a waste of his time. You might see footages of Dwayne Wade training his son. You don't see Dwayne Wade playing against just anybody. He's not doing it. You haven't earned that privilege. It's a privilege to be in the company of greatness, in their venue, in their habitat, in their specialized, home per se. Floyd Money Mayweather should not be letting just anybody in the ring with him. That's my only point.
Hoya has been especially ruthless on that point. He has openly mocked some of Floyd's exhibition choices, arguing that these events do nothing for his real boxing legacy and only make him look more desperate for easy money. In Oscar's eyes, true greatness comes from meaningful fights, real risk, and the kind of sacrifices that shape history, not from celebrity pairings that generate headlines, but leave no serious mark on the sport. That criticism stings because it comes from a former rival who understands both the business and the psychology of big fight boxing. Oscar sees Floyd's modern choices as proof that the money side won the war inside him, even if the purists wish the fighter side had been allowed to age more gracefully.
Floyd Mayweather fought another exhibition against Gotti last Saturday. A real the crowd booing in the arena at the end. But in the middle of the second round, Floyd literally had the referee swapped out. He didn't like that the referee told him to stop hitting behind the head. Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse, your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen, bro.
One more reason Floyd's name keeps surfacing in larger sports debates is because he has become such a recognizable symbol of elite athleticism and physical dominance. Sometimes his name gets pulled into broader cultural arguments, far beyond boxing itself, as shorthand for power, competitive edge, and what a world-class male athlete represents physically. That has happened in public media discussions around fairness in sport, safety, and athletic advantage. Whether people agree with those debates or not, the fact that Floyd's name keeps appearing in them shows how iconic his image still is. He's no longer just being discussed as a retired boxer, he has become a cultural reference point.